Thank you. Another question is, what is the strategies you follow from the day one to building a like a best game site, the social game site?
The strategy from day one to make a...
Yeah, what's the strategy you followed from the day one, which motivates to build this kind of game site, the social game sites, and what is the strategy you followed for that?
Oh, okay, so what's a strategy for building a successful social gaming site? Well, what I would do, make a Facebook game. Start from there, get successful with one, and then figure out how to build another one. You know, the idea of trying to build a separate website with all the connectivity. Wow. Build a big giant website with multiple games. Just get one right first. Okay. Are we? Oh, it's off. Okay. How are we doing on time? Are we all right? Right here over with the camera phone. I think I'm turned off here. By the way. I'm on. Okay. Okay. So the question is, how are the lessons I described? How do they work for mobile games? I'm not an expert at mobile games, but think about the simplicity of how the player plays them, right? Is it a long session? Is it a short session? Is it, how does the controls work? Is it a kinetic experience or is it a thoughtful experience? And then the type of games and fictions that support how players are going to play them. So you can see, say like with Words with Friends, right, that we have. It is a very short session, a minute or so. You can look at it, figure out your letters, create a word, put it on the board, and then hand it over to your friends to play. So that's what I do. It's basically taking the meta lessons and just applying it to a new device and a new player type. Go ahead in front. Okay. So the question was, how are our games received across the world, India, China, and other places, Japan, and then what do we do to make them more appealing or make maybe more accessible? The simple answer is starting first with the most broad and general game type that you can make, a city or a farm, and that's one way to do it. And then the next one is to make sure you don't exclude different cultures in different countries by, I don't know, doing something that's maybe not culturally appropriate. Again, very obvious, but sometimes people miss it. And then we also create custom content that fits and works. One of the things we did on Cityville, and you guys might remember, in Farmville, you guys might remember this, we created flags from around the world. And we knew we had to get them all right, and I think there was a little bit of controversy here, that we didn't quite get the flag right away. And of course we apologize for that, but that's how we do it. It's not so complex of saying we're going to target Japan with this feature here. It's more saying let's create that good base and add the layer on top of the icing for it. I think we maybe have time for just a couple more questions. One? Okay. 2 questions. Right there in the front. Yeah. Okay, so just to make sure everybody heard that question, his personal observation is he saw Facebook defend themselves against the Google Plus launch and with a lot more content which minimized the value of stories, right? And having more social game content result in the same sort of minimizing the value. I don't know. I don't equate the Google versus Facebook. I kind of look and say that's kind of the that's the social plumbing. That's we're sitting on top of it. From the entertainment point of view, well, obviously more types of games in a certain space will create challenges. If you're riding on the wave of you just put anything out there and people will play it, a little bit like the very, very early console days with like Genesis and Nintendo. Even if you guys, and some of you might remember way back to the Atari game console, the whole E.T. incident, where they buried a bunch of cartridges in the desert, right? So yes, as more games enter an eco space, yes, you will have to make better games. You will have to raise your production values. That's just like movies and TVs, right? I think that's one of the challenges that I enjoy because as I look around, I can make a game today, somebody else can make an even cooler game tomorrow, and then that inspires me. And so that's what works for me. So when I said better games, does that mean adding complexity? No. I think about the full entertainment experience. Think about what makes one movie better than the other. Maybe it's the story, maybe it's the effects, maybe it's the action sequences, similar to games. What makes this game better could be a myriad of things, but it's fun, new experience is what I focus on. There's somebody in the back right there with your arm. Yes.
What are the consequences you faced while making any social games or to create any social games?
Okay, so what are the consequences of Facebook making a social game?
Yeah, any means.
I'm not, well, so I don't know that they're going to make social games, and the consequences are, yay, an ecosystem grows, more entertainment in the market, more to inspire players and grow that. So it's not something I don't spend any time worrying about that. Again, focus on making great games and the rest works. Okay, we're good. All right, well, thank you very much, everybody. I really enjoyed talking to you guys. Thank you once again.
So guys, fantastic keynote, great start to the event. We have a really power-packed lineup up ahead. Just to note that we have Mark would be around. So for all of you guys, this is who want to catch him and have a chat. He's got a couple of engagements, but otherwise he'll be around. Please take this opportunity to please take this opportunity to meet him, spend some time, catch up, ask questions. We also have some very senior people from the industry here. We've got Fukishama-san from Square Enix, who's here. We've got Pauline from Ubisoft, who's here. So, feel free to grab these guys if you want to speak to them and get some gyan. So, I think we now break for tea. Very quickly, we start our sessions after that. So, enjoy the show.